I'm not sure it needs more emotion, it needs probably more funding. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed before the Brexit vote was there was significant concern amongst the powers that be that after COP21 the sort of initiative, the momentum had been lost, and partly, if not mainly, due to lack of funding. So as a result of Brexit, I would be concerned not so much about emotion, but more practical about how we're going to get it done and how it's going to be funded, even more so because Brexit is likely to lower rates of growth UK, EU, world, and therefore there will be less wherewithal. And that's the practical. I mean, however much emotion you inject into the debate, and at one level she's right, because the more the emotion you can inject into it, particularly when you look at the result of Brexit, because that was an emotional decision about sovereignty and immigration, not about the economy. The economic arguments were won by the Remain side. So I would say no, not emotion. It's about where is the growth to enable us to fund the changes, particularly in a world where legacy businesses are under pressure. Disruptors have the fluidity and the flexibility to do not what they want, or all of what they want, but some of what they want, and they have none of the legacy assets that they have to dispose of.
Do you think green advertising budgets will be put under pressure as a result of Brexit?
Well, if you think that growth rates, I mean, ad spending and communication is determined by GDP growth, and by and large, advertising the proportion of GDP growth has stayed pretty constant. In the fast growth markets, it's risen. In the slow growth markets, post-Lehman, it's never really recovered to pre-Lehman levels. So if you agree with that, if growth slows, budgets are going to be adjusted commensurately. Similarly, if it increases, they'll be adjusted upwards. So by and large, ad spending and communication spending is geared to GDP.
Final question, what's your advice to climate communication professionals after the Paris summit who are looking to re-emphasize the messages from that summit, but in a world which is more economically challenged?
Well, the key issue is that we're all too short-term in our thinking. We've been in the business of building WPP's brand for 31 years. We haven't sort of come in and come out, ducked in and ducked out. The problem with most models is they tend to be short-term rather than long-term. Most evaluation is short-term versus long-term. Most taxation systems are short-term versus long-term. Most systems, models encourage short-term behavior instead of long-term behavior. That's the key. Investing in brands, investing in innovation, which is geared very much into climate change, is dependent on taking a long-term point of view. And unfortunately, with companies under the pressure that they're under, low growth, 3 to 3.5%, low inflation, no pricing power, focus on costs, you're not getting that.